What up, it's Nick, and today I'm going to show you how I make kick drums. Well, how I've been making kick drums, pretty much. I'm kind of I try to make them really unique as possible, but sometimes I'll make complete trash, not gonna lie, but I'm just gonna walk you through my process and how I make kick drums. It's kind of weird, kind of cool, but yeah, let's get right into it. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you want to, and let's go. So, to start off, I just want to say I use anything I can to make a kick drum. For, like, instance, I actually have, these are the sounds I use. Let's talk about that. I actually used a complete control. I used the drum lab. Inside of the drum lab, I used the kick drum. So, I wanted more of an acoustic layer to my kick drum because usually I layer 3 sounds together. I get my low end, my mid, and my top end, the clickiness, the actual click of the kick. So that's what this is pretty much. It says mid, but I turned it more into the clickiness. I'll press play to let you hear it. That's going to be the main clickiness. It doesn't sound very clicky. It sounds very raspy and sounds more like a snare, but eventually I turned it into a more clicky sound. So, and Vital helps with the clicky sound. So I used that for more of the clickiness, and Vital helps with that. I will let you listen to this Vital preset that I made. I made it in like 5 minutes. I was just trying to get a weird space lasery sound and really easy sound to make. I used a sine wave with a square wave, and I just put the envelope into a really fast attack, and it sounds like this. Nothing too crazy, just beep, beep. And then from there, I actually was listening to these impacts, and I was like, I really like the initial hit of this impact, and it sounded like a kick drum, and I just wanted to get the sub out of it because I really like the tone of the sub in the impact, and the impact sounds like this. So all I used of this whole sample for the impact is this part right here. And then I'll show you what I did. For that, I put a distortion, a filter, compressed, and then I cut all the high and mid, and it sounds like this. It's just like a boop, boop, like a, it doesn't sound like anything by itself. It's just like a really low, plucky sub sound, but with added layers. I'll just play the final kick for you. It's not too interesting right now because I haven't really showed you what else you could do with it, but that is the initial kick that I made. Sounds more like a snare. We'll get to that. This says the high, but it's actually the mid. Well, it is the high. This has more, I added more high in the acoustic drum than I did the actual Vital because I like the mid digital sound from the Vital sound for the mid, so I kept that. But I'll play the acoustic sound. I took all the mid and low end out, and I put some dirt on it. A little bit of distortion, sounds like this. Nothing by itself. None of them make sense by themselves, but when they're layered together, they sound really good. And then this is the mid. The mid is the Vital. I bounced it to audio, put some bite on it, put some digital, like 8-bitty sounding effect on it, and it sounds like this. It just makes it bitier. What the plugin is, it's bite, so I made it a little bit bitier, and then I render all these down into another audio file, and it sounds like this. And I was like, yeah, we're getting somewhere. This is usually how I make all my stuff, my drums, samples, everything. I just try to pick something like, hey, I'm going to make a riser, and then I start somewhere, and I just keep evolving, and that's what's happening here. It just keeps evolving. And then I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. It sounds good. And then I put it into a sampler. And then I find the key that fits pretty much. I listen by ear to hear what key sounds the best for that kick drum. And this one was C sharp. it just sounded the best to me. It could vary to you. Your ears might be different, but C sharp sounded the best for me. So then I put it in C sharp and I bounced it down into C sharp, and we got this kick right here. And then I know what you're saying. You're like, it sounds a little bit snary, like a snare. And I'm like, yeah, it is kind of snary, but I kind of left that open because what if I do want to use this as a snare? Because I want my samples to be very, I guess, versatile. Like if I put a kick drum in there, I could edit it in a way to make it a kick drum, or I could edit it in a way to make it a snare. So I left that open I guess it's more for me and not for anybody else, but pretty much nowadays you can take a clap and turn it into a kick or a snare or a hi-hat or anything. So that's the reason why I did that. So this is the final version. That's pretty much the same as that. This is the final version, and we are going to check it out. And I'm going to do some things to it. So if you drag it out, this is the full clip. It sounds like this. More of a snary, it's more of a snare at this state right there, but it is a kick. If you go down 12 octaves, it's a heavy kick. It's very, very digitalized or whatever. If you time stretch, it sounds like. If you put EQ in, turn down some of the high end, then you're getting somewhere. We boosted some of the highs or some of the lows. And then I was like, well, if I want to make a snare with this, since I told myself I wanted to leave it open. So if you leave it at the normal thing, put some reverb on it, we'll take away the low and then boost some of these highs. We'll do it to like 4. Then I put some reverb on it and it sounds like this. That's a snare. That could be a snare. So that's usually how I make my kicks. Yeah, I'll show you a couple other ones I made. I made a bunch over here. This was the one you just heard. I made this. All those kick I just made in the same way I just showed you, and it was fun, awesome, cool. Hopefully you learned something, but this is how I do it. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, give me a like, comment down below, tell me if you kind of make drums like this or kick drums or any drums like this. I usually, just layer 3 things together, try to make a kick, snare, whatever I want, and whatever happens, happens. And new music coming out. Subscribe if you want to, and keep making music. I really hope you learned something. Like maybe you didn't know how to make drums or something. Maybe this starts ideas in your head. Be like, oh, I didn't know you could just like layer sounds together and then get a kick drum out of it. And then I always put it in sampler, and then I try to tune it to a certain key. So that's important too. So yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Thank you. Bye. Peace.